Welcome back to the LCS Championship. TSM are one game away from punching their ticket into Sunday's match. The battle for who's going home and ending their season early. Immortals, of course, right now, hey, they made top 6 in the LCS via how playoffs have gone, but they are poised to end their year, and that would be, you know, the entire rookie season of Revenge ending right there for the 6th place, which, hey, not bad for rookie, but realistically, you know, they want more. And with how close Game 2 was, you know, Immortals feel like they could win games in this series.
Yeah, Gilhodo in his interview at the start of the series was talking about like, hey, you know, we want to have a good showing here, and, you know, Game 2 was a good showing, but I think they want to take at least one game off. We'll see if they can bounce back here on blue side, the opportunity to really change up the draft and how it was going.
So being on blue side, we'll see what they want to take away. Renekton going to be banned out. I wonder if they are going to change their priority on Lee, and yeah, it's actually going to be banned. So seeing that as an issue here, TSM, they're kind of like one of the rare teams that is actually highly prioritizing Lee Sin enough to first pick it on blue side. Not a lot of teams are prioritizing it over Xin. Now I'm curious to see if TSM will ban Xin now, given that Immortals could just first pick it here. They do not. And I think that's an easy first pick for Immortals.
Yep, they're going to get the same jungler 3 games in a row. Has not turned into a win, but to be fair, TSM has certainly been a stronger opponent. The winner of the regular season, #1 seed of playoffs, and now fighting for their lives. But so far, lives are doing pretty well against Immortals. They got 3 of them here.
Well, they're running out quick, but the Syndra ban doesn't surprise me too much. It had been twice on red side that Immortals had banned it away, and TSM pick it up this time around. Don't want to have to deal with some of the priority that comes from mid lane.
Trundle Ashe. So, I mean, it theoretically could be support or jungle. Yes, there's the rare case where it's solo lane, but I don't really think that's going to come through. I am kind of just expecting Trundle jungle, honestly, from Spica. But this already gives you a lot of slows, a lot of chase down between these two champions. The ability to kind of slow play some of these fights can be quite powerful.
I'm also looking just for the annoyance of the hawk shot on the jungle, given that Xerxes, I think, was the best performing member on Immortals last game. He had quite a number of big
Lucian
plays,
here.
and this will slow it down.
Yeah, Lucian or maybe Trist. I think Insanity played Tristana. No, I guess that was a Blaze Olive in the Cloud9 series.
Time.
Yeah,
on a mid.
Yeah. Lucian has definitely been the more common one, though I've seen Insanity play both. I'm actually personally a slightly bigger Tristana fan, but obviously it's what these players actually want to do. It does seem like it's set up for an AD mid, and they're going to wait. They're going to go for Rakan here. Ziggs is flexible. Keep in mind, both Raze and Insanity have played Ziggs to a high degree in this season.
It'll be interesting to see what TSM is actually going to ban that coming through, right? Like, if it was me on TSM side, I think you do your 3rd pick, then you just start banning out some of those AD components that you're maybe threatened by. You know, maybe you're worried about something like the Xayah Rakan pairing. For sure, I think you should ban out Lucian to deny that possibility, unless they want to save mid pick for last and look for a counter pick into it. So,
I mean, TSM tipping their hand about their flex pick at least already with the Rel locked in. That's obviously Trundle jungle. I think this is a really strong pick into the Xin that we've seen demonstrated time and time again, especially like TL in their series. And given how Spica's playing right now and doing quite well at neutralizing a lot of Immortals' early plays that they're trying to force, I actually really like this matchup that they've ended up in.
Yeah, and I mean, Sword looked really good on the Rel in Game 1. Orianna is still on the table. I'm not sure if Immortals will ban out that combo that TSM used to great success in Game #1. Of course, Spica will be less of a playmaker. It is more about the neutralizing your opponent when you are playing Trundle jungle. Lucian banned out, as expected. I think that makes a lot of sense. AD pairing here with an AP potential bot laner. Of course, as Freak said, Insanity could be the one playing it. So I'm going to be curious if the next ban is an ADC, something like the Xayah or the Tristana that could maybe pair here with this Rakan.
Sure. Across the year, Raze has 4 Ziggs games, 2 wins, 2 losses. Insanity has 2, 1 from Spring, 1 from Summer, both losses. So Raze has been the not only more successful, but more frequent picker of the champion. TSM, of course, would have always done their notes. They know Ziggs is well within the champion pools here of Immortals, knows where it's more likely to be played as well. That kind of scouting is not difficult to do. And yeah, so right now, solo lanes are being knocked off the table here as Jace is another ban there as well. One of the AD top laners, I think, looking at, hey, what might the blind be here? Keep in mind, Gnar still available. TSM getting first dibs.
But Revenge, 0 Gnar games this whole split, so this whole year, really. So isn't something that he often goes to. Otherwise, yeah, I would be agreeing with you that would be kind of the obvious one. Going to be banning out Nocturne. Very interesting. Huni was one of the people that continued to play this even after the nerfs, continued to play Lee Sin solo lane after the nerfs, so he just kind of likes to go towards it, and Immortals, at the very least, not interested in playing into that sort of a style, but Orianna's up, and it feels like a super obvious pick here for TSM. Just go Orianna, then last pick your top and get a matchup advantage there.
I think it's also the situation where Immortals knows he's going to take Orianna if you leave it up, and some of these more aggressive matchups are happy to play into Orianna because she won't be able to contest you, and you can use the Xin Zhao to try and get priority and move around the map a little bit more. So I can see why, you know, they were looking to do that.
What's interesting is Tristana is really good in Orianna. Like, as far as the matchups are concerned, this is actually one of your happiest matchups to play Tristana into. He's going to go for TF, going to go play more side lane, it looks like, which is, if you are going to dedicate side lane, of course, Ziggs is one of the best wave clear bot laners to play. You can just kind of sit in mid and you're not going to lose anything.
I think Camille then, maybe. I think, like, it's a really risky blind, but I'm just trying to think, AD champion, you could also go like Viego. I'm trying to think AD champions in his pool that you could play through in the side lane. Viego's banned. I mean, he has Set as well, but it doesn't feel like enough of an AD threat. Camille, to me, is the one that makes sense as far as go for split push, play heavily to a side lane. It's in his champ pool. It's what I'm expecting.
Good call, Azale. 2 for 2 on the solo lane picks, looks like, and one on TSM, one on Immortals side. What's next, Mark? What you got?
Well, the thing is, when you look at Huni's champion pool, a lot of the things you would not really want to play in. I mean, you talk about melee matchups is usually what you're going to play into the Camille. Short-range matchups get dove on and killed, or excuse me, long-range matchups. The GP, it's been strong in playoffs every time it's picked, and it is okay into Camille in the early game. It's just like the 1v1 does not stay 1v1 for too long.
Yeah, exactly. But GP actually answers the roam as well, right? You know, and that's why I think it's such a good pick here. TF gold cards in, you know, you cleanse that. You have the ult as a defensive tool. I also think it functions incredibly well with their 5v5. You Trundle, Pillar, you GP ult on their head, the Ashe ulti's coming through, Orianna plus Rel engage, it side lanes well, it wins the early stages. There is the potential to snowball through that Camille lane, especially if Xerxes can get up there and really punish GP. Generally, you punish GP on the bounce, like you want to try to get the wave in, try to have it pushing out, have GP in this awkward situation where he's in the extended lane, and then maybe Xerxes can get something done. But barring that, I mean, I really like the draft here for TSM. Immortals, I think they had to go for some sort of a risky pick. If you just go Set here or whatever, I just don't see your real win condition. I don't see enough of an AD side lane threat to actually pair with the TF. So I like them taking a swing.
Definitely want something more volatile, something that can snowball a little bit harder. I mean, TSM has been the better team in the mid to late game 2 games in a row. And they've, again, drafted tons of scaling, tons of CC, front-to-back team fight for the most part. Like, they know what their comfort zone is. They're staying in it.
You know what would have been the sickest pick, though, here for TSM is just Jax.
I knew you were going to say Jax. You always say Jax.
Jax actually would have just, like, checkmated their whole comp. Like, I swear, it's actually such a good matchup, not only into Camille, but also into TF. You can use your E and block the gold card. You can use that when they hookshot in as well. Like, it's really good in the 1v1. It denies the ability of TF to actually set up those ganks. I think it's so good. We didn't get it, but whatever. No, we never get it in LCS.
Well, the draft prep may have worked well for Immortals because Huni is 0-2 on Gangplank with a 1.1 KDA. It has not been good. It is his only winless champion.
Go long term, though. He has had a good GP for many years.
Just not this year.
Yeah.
You know, just not with TSM in 2021. So it's his worst champion statistically. I'm not saying he's bad at it.
In 2021
bad
summer,
historically.
he sucks at GP.
In 2021 on the year. All right, not just summer. He's been bad at Gangplank. That's all I'm going to say. That's the stat. That's all. Hey. If he wins, he wins. That's going to be fine. But we're going to have an exciting game here all the same. Immortals are going very side lane focused. As you identified, Azale, the blind Camille, is going to kind of round out that composition. And yeah, Raze is going to be on wave clear duty pretty quickly in this game.
Pretty much right away. I think their bot lane, once again, looks like they're going to leash for Xerxes. That was one of the things that led to the early game state the first time around. TSM's bot lane has not been leashing. Doesn't look like they're going to do it again. Already moving down to lane. We'll have the shove. But again, Ziggs level 1, you kind of tend to back off the way more often than not.
All right, well, we've got Bjergsen on the line as TSM are 2-0. Latagris, take it away.
Thank you, Freak. Had to get some words from Bjergsen. Strong control by TSM game 1, slightly tighter game number 2. How do you feel either of these teams have performed compared to your expectations for the series?
I think just in scrims, IMT is a really strong early game team, and they're still kind of showing that in this series. But I think just in the team fights, we're honestly just outperforming them. I think my players are just showing up and outplaying their players pretty much every single fight that's happened in both games.
Looking extremely comfortable. And I know TSM coming in with the weight of first seed, but also facing a lower bracket run, a pressure with which you are extremely familiar. Now drawing upon your second playoffs as a coach, what are you focusing on most, on or off the Rift, when facing potential elimination?
Just trying to help enable the players to just play without fear and just knowing that, you know, win or lose, either we win and the season goes on, or we lose and this is it. So we should really just play with everything that we have and not be afraid. And I think that we're showing that really well in the series, that we're just not playing afraid and taking every fight and every opportunity that we see.
No fear, hearts on the line. Thank you, Virixon, for stopping on by. Let's head back on over to the Doug Duo plus Mark.
I mean, speaking of no fear, they're playing that bot lane so aggressive, you know, willing to give up the entire round of melee events. They're going in again.
Flash knockback, but it was on the wrong target. He flipped back Destiny and not Raze. That is easy to live as Rakan there.
Yeah, they were stacked up, so it can be a little bit difficult, but trying to play so aggressive here, utilizing the Hail of Blades Ashe, really strong early laner, and also taxing Raze Mana, who didn't do a tier start. It is the Dark Seal start here instead, so you know, trying to go right at him, and Huni doing pretty well in that 1v1 on top side.
I was going to say, yeah, also going well in the top lane as we have a gank mid here.
Pretty good pillar from Speaking, gonna find himself a gold card in the face, trying to walk away. His Insanity losing a lot of health, eventually will flash. And that is an important cooldown missing. Now Xerxes gonna find a man, gets himself a knock, gets a bit of damage as Lost is gonna walk back after a trade. Insanity walking back up in a range of Power of Evil and not getting much more out of it.
Man, Lost has got to be careful now. Like, he's getting actually quite low. He's used all 3 of his health potions, and Flash and Ignite are both still available here for Destiny. Yes, he could cleanse the Ignite, but still, like, you are kind of getting dicey.
Yeah, nice that Cersei was able to pick up the Scuttle Crab here. Spot Speaker moving up. Now Huni pushed up a little bit in River.
He's got a flash.
Ooh, hookshot will flash follow, and they're gonna get first blood in the win condition. Revenge 200 gold richer.
Absolutely huge that Immortals was able to turn that play. Huni just wanting to see where exactly Xerxes was, but you know, he had been doing such a good job in the 1v1. GP is pretty gnarly in melee matchups in the early levels with the Trial by Fire, the Q procs, the Grasp procs, and here we see Cloud9 trying their best to curse TSM. But yeah, I think, you know, Huni was having such a great job. The wave was pushing in because he was winning it, and he wanted to make sure he was safe to actually get the wave in, and that's exactly when they punish him.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. In those long lanes, when you are pushed up as GP, that is where you have to be so scared. Just a really nice hookshot flash there from Revenge. Xerxes flashes in to follow. They do get the kill. It sucks that it's not on Camille for them. Camille does still have TP, and he's going to try to reset the wave, but the wave is kind of awkward and pushing away from him, so Huni's going to try to probably hold this and force the counter TP from Revenge, so we'll see if either jungler wants to get up there and really kind of break things up.
I mean, still, it swung the CS advantage from, I don't know what it was, like 10 in favor of Huni already in the early laning phase. Yes, there's a big wave heading into him here. He'll collect a lot of it, maybe end up a little bit ahead, but it did get Revenge back in the game, even though he did not get that kill, unfortunately.
Trading back and forth in the bottom lane now as well. Xerxes already on the way over. They know they've swept the ward. They know they can't tell what he's up to. But will there be much of a play? Hoping that maybe he dives in. Hope he can kind of sneak into that bottom brush, and indeed will do so as they walk it in towards the tier 2 as well. Has to respect what that range might be. When does Sword Art want to walk in? Because Destiny's really trying to have him bite on this one. If there's a crash down, there's going to be a play. But Sword Art, now as the wave goes down, is not willing to go for it. Very good to play that respectfully.
Yeah, they just don't have eyes on Xin, so they're going to play it really, really safe. And Huni does hold the wave, so he forces out the counter TP. Destiny will have to get out of there, but will be fine to do so. So it's TP for TP. The wave does mean Huni will even up the farm on the top side, and he has his Sheen by, so it's not a disaster. You're still in a pretty decent spot, and he can continue to scale up.
He lost his flash, but all the flashes are down the top side of the map for Immortals. Big concern now is 6 for TF has been unlocked, and they might start looking to make plays on the top side as soon as they can.
Whatever wards, control ward knocked down. Good job, Destiny. Takes the roam. He's already got boots 1. Like, what else do you want on a support? So happy to let Wraith take his recall. The Ziggs, yeah, basically. You know, it's no Philosopher's Stone and 7 wards, but
I was about to say, back
there.
in my day, that was your full build.
That was full build.
Ooh.
2013.
We can see Xerxes heading up towards topside. So as soon as Camille hits 6, they are looking for this play. But Power of Evil's roaming. Trundle's roaming as well. So I don't know that they're really going to go for this.
I mean, GP's not 6, so this is going to be a way bigger power spike. TF ults in there as well. Ulti's across. Shockwave is good, but they still find that first kill. The rest coming across, though. TF already dead. Spica dropped a bit low. Taking a chop, gonna still die. Revenge is safe. The flash stun. Is it enough damage? It is not. They can't get it. But a stun chain comes through for Sword Art, keeping him alive for now. Revenge feeling a bit safe, but GP has hit 6. Gets a shield. They can't find those kills. Revenge leg sweeps, but still dies as Huni is back in. They overcommit. He could have walked away, and instead, it's gonna be TSM picking up a couple of kills.
And the bot side still, they punish the support roam. This is one of the things that has not happened too often in the current meta in the playoffs. Here, Immortals actually are able to kill Lost while that play was happening on the top side, actually giving Immortals an early game 5-3 kill advantage.
Yeah, going to be able to get the kill there, going to be able to get a plate. Huni, though, getting a lot of gold back here. 2 kills in the extended play, drops the ulti, TPs back in. He gets a plate off of it. He denies a lot of this farm here. Revenge, 36 CS at 720. It's not much.
Yeah, jumps over the pillar. Raze does have flash, and the stun combo is clean. Jumps back to his support, still chomped down. Thought he might have bought the time. However, too much damage. Sword Art without escapes, though, will trade as they get some damage across. Instead, he wants a stun. Spica, they know he is flashless on the Trundle, but they don't have the follow-through to kill him.
You can feel Immortals playing as fast as they possibly can here, trying to take as many fights. You know, Raze there, he was dead no matter what. I can understand the idea of, hey, if I flash in here and I get the shield, maybe a heal, and then I can buy time for people to show up.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's just blowing a resource that you probably should have held on to. At the end of the day, you know,
Flash for flash.
Xerxes comes down, he's able to find the kills. Xerxes fed as hell, he's 5-1 already. Unfortunate, not more of those kills from that topside skirmish. Didn't go on to Revenge, but
Ooh, can he satchel? No, never mind.
they are still 1.5k gold ahead, despite how scrappy it is.
Well, once again, we heard Bjergsen talk about it. Head coach of TSM. They know Immortals are a good early game team, but credited TSM's victory to individual outplays. Well, right now you've got, I'm not sure if you have a lead on the Camille since GP has 2 raw
Well,
kills.
you know who does have a lead? This guy.
It's
Yes.
pretty big.
5 kills by 8 minutes. So that's going to be on Xerxes to be able to get something done here to extend that advantage. You want to see him, if he's not going to be constantly fighting, start stacking dragons, do something with this advantage because you're a strong early game champion. You have a massive gold lead at this point. And Revenge is just trying to get this wave reset. I mean, this is GP's comfort zone. You know, pretty much like this area from that wall onward is where you want to be chilling, holding the wave. So you have to pressure the GP, try to get the wave to bounce, have it come out, because that is where GP has to be scared, is when you start getting past the river in the extended lane, Camille really can punish you, and that's where it's easy for Xerxes or TF to come in after a Camille ult.
They did have a ton of wards up there. PoE did have a half roam, and you saw Revenge playing it pretty safe until it started to push a little bit closer. And now with the invades going on, Xerxes going up to that top side, hunting for Spica. Wants to take a 1v1 because he's so fed.
Xerxes, Spica, here we go. Pillar's pretty good, but TF's going to be on top of him. They're going to get the follow-through. You can't miss those skill shots. Ult and Smite is a lot of healing, but they still knock him down. Do they want to dive Huni? They are looking at it. Ult comes across, but the turret is being juggled back and forth. Xerxes walks away, and as Orianna TP's in, what can PoE get?
Nothing.
That is nothing. He gets to look at a minion wave. He gets to get gold-carded and stunned and just eviscerated under the turret, but they can wait. They can wait and re-dive when it cools back down.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to go for it. Revenge is backing off, so I don't think they're going to on the bot.
Raze sidesteps, he gets the ulti across, and Lost is going to try to live, but Ignite will take him down. Immortals win absolutely everywhere on the map.
Okay, Immortals, they have come to play here. They want Sword Art as well. They're going to get him.
No, he crashes
crash
down,
down.
he dodges the bomb. The satchel won't kill through a shield, and Raze has no escape. Raze, that was a mistake. Let's be clear, you goofed, my friend.
It's honestly been the story of this series. Immortals getting a good play, then wanting even more. And pie in the face, Mark.
It looks so good. Both supports had the exact same mindset of engaging onto the enemy carry. Just a little bit easier for Ziggs to dump his damage. Great, you blow him up.
They're
Then
winning right up to the moment they lose.
Yeah, the classic Skara quote there. I mean, it's still, again, a situation where the play was good for them overall. They come out ahead in the gold lead overall. It's gone from 1.5 to 3K from all these kills that they're getting. It's just that the very end of these plays is not super clean. But I think they're still, you know, good for them. They're making a lot of stuff happen.
Absolutely. I mean, they're looking really aggressive this game. You know, they have such an enormous lead on their jungler. 7 kills at 11 minutes is just absurd.
Yep.
So Xerxes does have the run on the map. There's no way you're losing a duel to really anyone at this point in the game. So he can look to continue to play aggressive. And they almost even had the follow-up kill on PoE. If Xerxes was a hair closer with that W, he could have actually, you know, followed through with the charge and been able to take him down.
Yeah, Xerxes was trying to heal off the Krugs. Understandable. You know, you don't want to overextend too long. Maybe could have found that kill still, but from here, Summoners are starting to come back up, funnily enough, despite how much fighting there was. We'll see this again. So what I really like about the Ziggs in this situation, yeah, Destiny was hiding. They didn't know he was there. Both people engage onto the enemy AD carries, or bot lane carries, I should say.
Sure.
But Ziggs can drop his damage right away and get the entire burst out, whereas, you know, you're going to need a lot more DPS time for Lost to match it. So they're just able to chunk him out right away.
And I mean, it's just smart stuff from Destiny. You know, going into the brush there, making sure he's not spotted, gave TSM the confidence to engage. We were back to live.
Insanity gets low. Power View wants to get the damage, but he's in the Zonias for too long. Xerxes on a rampage. 4 kills, a death, 4 more kills.
The Guardian, the Recon Shield, everything coming through to frustrate him, and they're going to lose this mid lane tower. Xerxes is just having the game of a lifetime here.
I will not
Go home. Reinforcements again stepped over. Ignite is going to be good with GP.
Shields.
The shields, I think last tick might kill. No! Insanity cannot die. And they have found revenge, and they will get it. Spica drops. Immortals team fighting so well in the early game.
Time after time, TSM is trying to punish the overextension by Immortals. This time around, Immortals actually finished the play out cleanly. The part is that TSM does have their side lane still pushing in, grabbing a lot of gold, but not able to find the kills. 11-5 now.
I mean, this is just getting ridiculous how many kills they're finding. Revenge going to continue chasing her. He has his ulti. Oh, couldn't get the 3rd Q, so that means he's going to have to back off.
Yeah, I think you need that burst damage for it to work. As we look back at what's going on, obviously both these top laners going for tankier options. In both cases, Trinity Force and Divine Thunder are competitive with one another. In most cases, Triforce is more damage. But if you're trying to just sustain and make sure you stay healthy and prevent dives, you go for the tankier option like Sunderer. You know, could see it go either way, but they're both going for the defensive option.
Yeah, 200 HP difference at the max item, 400 for Sunderer versus 200 on Triforce, and this feels like a scrappy game. I understand that they kind of want to stop the die-in on the top side, especially for Huni. But Camille's going to be diving in.
Yeah.
She is one of the main frontline threats here. I mean, you do have Cersei, who's insane.
Barrel combo. Oh, that's pretty sick. The flash follow, nearly enough damage. And hey, Divine Thunder health pretty good. Triforce more damage, though.
Man, if he actually was in combat there and had Grasp up, he probably could have killed him.
Yeah.
There's a collapse, though.
Okay, is it going to be enough? Of course, Huni is flashless. They know that. They call it. They get the charm. They get the knockup. But do they have the damage? Xerxes walks in. Xerxes is going to make sure Huni doesn't walk out. And Immortals find kill number 12.
Does Xerxes have the damage? Yeah.
Yes.
Almost a double-digit kills before 15 minutes.
Someone
He's too big to lose.
Someone
Too
call
big
his
to
KDA. There's an emergency, and TSM are flatlining. Someone get the ambulance. Get him to safety. Immortals looking for more to do right now. First dragon has gone TSM's way. Next one up in a minute 20. Good cleanse for Lost. A flash. He's going to get him out for now. Spica's coming around, but this is a 3v3 where you are against the Xin Zhao. Arrow's going to go wide. Insanity gets found out. I'm surprised he actually flashed away. I feel like he can actually handle this battle, but maybe they go back in for more. But careful now, because Orianna's around. They're going to find some more to do.
Yeah, without him having his ultimate, he doesn't want to give over the shutdown. I think that's the key thing. If you get CC'd up there, Lost can potentially burst you down with PoE when that ulti is down.
I think with the chain CC combo that was available as well, Lost shooting
now
his arrow
again,
out there.
they're looking for Raze. This is just non-stop.
Well, Ziggs
They
take a
got him
mana.
here.
He is dead. Raze, you can't even really kill minions at this point. You're just trying to buy some time. I'm surprised they shockwaved, but it lets them also buy, you know, just get back on the map and do stuff. Keep in mind, Dragon's up at 35.
I think they just wanted the gold on PoE. It's kind of interesting. It looked like they wanted to just try to give that over since he TP'd. They want to get something on him, but Xerxes going to be able to take back some camps on the bottom side. They're pushing up. Could potentially get a lot of damage down on this tower. And Infernal's going to be up here in 15, so Immortals should have the ability to get that. That is one thing working for TSM, the fact that they took the first dragon, and Soul is so far away. So they have incredible scaling. As long as they can buy time, TSM could try to claw their way back in later.
This is definitely a game for Immortals where you are not winning through Dragon Soul fights. You want to force Barons, or you want to get the TF to follow up on the Camille, split push them down, and put TSM in an unwinnable situation. Given how strong a lot of their members are right now, as
TP.
Gonna get out of there.
Gonna get dove. Yeah, okay, so TP is a safe option to get away, goes to inhibitor turret. Xerxes is going to soul the dragon, so first one claimed. It's a while, as you mentioned. Yeah, we're going to be 32 minutes at minimum for a dragon soul. That is going to be very late. The game is likely finding its way to being decided once that comes through. And it might be decided through, you know, just the team fighting. FTX gold advantage nearly 5,000 to the way of Immortals. And we can keep watching them go.
I think the thing I want to see now is how Immortals plays out the rest of this mid-game until there's a larger Baron threat. I feel like whenever you grab outer turrets, you know, pre-20 minutes, getting onto the inners, you're going to try and keep forcing these side lane plays. You don't have anything on the flip side of the map to really make them come to. I'm sure, you know, if Immortals go on to this Rift Herald. We'll see if TSM wants to contest, but otherwise I feel like TSM is going to be in stem the bleeding mode, and Immortals want to keep blowing this game open.
Yeah, and I think to do that, you take the Rift Herald, you start pressuring the inners, you take over a quadrant of the enemy jungle, and we can see they've started to try to get some vision up in this kind of section of the map, but there's a play mid.
Decent damage on a Sword Art, able to stay safe though. Lost and Sword Art both have burned his ulti. Same now with Power of Evil is Insanity's going to be able to walk away from this one. And not a huge problem. So more ults costed on the TSM side. End of the day though, no kills.
Gonna free up that Rift Herald that we were just talking about. I like that Satchel Charge by Raze there that he threw out to protect Insanity, make sure no one could funnel through that choke point, make sure Insanity can get past that pillar. Now they grab their little reward from forcing all those ults out.
It is interesting as well, Revenge going for Titanic instead of Ravenous here. So this to me says they want a 5v5. They actually want to look for team fights. They want to have that additional bit of tankiness there, as opposed to kind of the stronger split push build with that healing to be able to sustain through the poke. PoE though on the wraparound, we'll see which way Revenge tries to run out. If he goes left, he will be safe. If he goes down, he's in trouble.
All right, can he get away? Gonna go for the dual initiate on Ahuni, gonna save his ult to dodge a shockwave, and I like this one. Once he knows where PoE is, just fight towards the top left, jump that wall, no chase available.
Really well played there by Revenge to escape. I saw Insanity with his TP up. I was wondering if he was going to try and make that a 2v2. But I kind of like the reset there. And if Revenge can just get out, save it for a more proactive play where you have the numbers advantage that you were talking about in the last game. They didn't find enough odd man fights. Here, you're 5,000 gold up. Maybe you can take it. But Xerxes is really your fed member. Like if he's not around, I think you have to be a lot more careful about the fights that you're taking.
And that's why I want to see them extend advantage through Xerxes, right? By taking over a third quadrant of the map, by taking over those extra jungle camps, putting Spica down more and more and more.
It's a good pasta. Gonna find pretty good shots on a Sword Art right now. Has to burn his flash to stay safe. Zigzolt will nearly kill Comet. And Leandries comes together. I heard mages were bad, but it looks pretty good in the hands of Raze.
Yeah, nice collapse there. Destiny finds the knockup, just enough damage to finish him off with the Scorch and the Comet. Now, they're not done. They want to keep pushing around this bot side.
Decent damage there. Side lane tier 2 is the most valuable turret in the game. Nearly 800 gold worth when you knock that down, and they're looking to make it happen there. Yep, it's low. There's a satchel. Thank you for the money.
And they're just going to continue pushing, right? You know, take over this side of the map, take away the jungle camps here. They're getting the Gromp, they're getting the Wolves, they're attacking the Raptors. They're trying to farm as much of the TSM gold as they can to push forward here. Then you can retreat back on the reset, farm up your own side of the map, and maybe look for the top.
Arrow finds the support. Revenge is like, see ya, buddy.
The forever stun.
Oh, Pillar is not quite in range of what they need. It's going to be safety. All right, well done.
Man, Destiny is playing a great game.
Yeah,
he is actually playing the line so well in a lot of these fights, and he's kind of known for like the hook champions. He's known for the Thresh. He's known for the Nautilus, these types of champs, but playing really a great game here on the Recon. And it can be tough when you're at point elimination here. You know, when you're down 2 games and you know that this could be the end of your season, some players are able to rise to that challenge and some players kind of crumble. And in this situation, Xerxes, Destiny stepping up huge.
Xerxes in particular kind of brought over as the main veteran that this lineup was going to have. Has worked with Gilhoto before, was relied on to be one of the biggest parts of their summer split where they were able to find a positive win rate, was because Xerxes was playing really well. And this game, he is hulking out. He is not ready for a season to end at all.
Well, the road to reverse sweep is paved with one game at a time. In this game, it looks to be in control of Immortals. The right champions have money. You're seeing a defensive build out of Revenge, Divine Slender into Titanic. Titanic is not the more common team at option, even in Pro, but wants to make sure he is not going to get one shot. He thinks he still beats Gangplank in every 1v1 regardless, so you know, who cares which items I go for as long as, you know, I don't get one shot.
To me, it generally says like what your intention is of how to win the game. If it's side lane, you go Ravenous Hydra, because that sustain makes it so GP can't threaten you. Once you actually have that built in, he pokes you down, you heal up off the wave, you can continually threaten. This is potentially a higher burst. This is the ability to really 5v5 more effectively. I think he's going to go into Sterix next as a result of where this build is heading, and really just be set up for that 5v5. Xerxes is already really strong, as will be snapped in, but doesn't have the damage to get a kill.
And can still jump back to his team. It's not going to be a problem. Insult to injury, loses the Guardian Shield at the end, whatever. Still, though, that is Shockwave down for a moment. But unless you force Baron in the next 20 seconds, it's not going to matter too much.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. If you're PoE, actually, that's not a bad trade. You chunk out the support, make it a little bit more difficult to move in for vision control. I mean, he is working with Xerxes still.
Caught.
Oh, damage on a PoE again. Shockwave List going to find a bunch of damage. Ziggs is still going to land the mark!
Man, I love this. I can hear behind me the Immortal guys cheering, popping off as the ult was in the air for Ziggs. They're all, whoa!
Oh, man, that was a nice ulti there. That's a Kobe if you ever seen one from downtown.
You know, I heard Hai talk about his Mac, like, oh, mid laners are so good, they can play other roles. Yeah, bot laners play your champions better. Keep up.
All right, well, pushing on this top side. But unfortunately, Bill early, she's his way out.
Good ult from Sword Art. Xerxes getting a bit low. He's got the turret. He's got a bunch of shields, though, but still dies. The kill credit, though, goes to the support. 1,000 gold picked up as now Revenge ultis. Flashes away, hits the turret, tries to backflip.
Dive.
But this is a lot of damage out of a red buff Ashe. They knock the turret down. The 1 for 1.
Shockwave.
Can it happen? Minefield is going to stop this one. There's no way they can really chase through this one. Ziggs is going to zone him all the way out.
Who got the huge 1,000?
Sword Art.
Sword Art.
So that's
I said it twice in the fight, Mark.
It's actually,
is this
they're
boy
gonna fight
dead?
back.
He's just better than everyone else at Mages. Raze, he does it all.
This is a self alley-oop. He satchel charges him right into the center of the ulti there.
Yeah, serving it up off the backboard for himself. Raze popping off this game. He heard us talking about Destiny. He heard us talking about Xerxes. He's like, my turn. Watch my shot.
Yeah, so this time very aggressive, to put it mildly here. Immortals going pretty far. The Titanic active there, actually, catching aggro, that splash as they go in for the dive. The turret is onto Xerxes, and he's just getting shredded, locked down for so long by Sword Art. It's just unfortunate. I think that was Sword Art's Ignite that actually ended up taking the kill. Because that 1K, onto a carry can make a huge difference in a game like this.
Unfortunately, they couldn't get it. The dive overall, though, I do like that Immortals is not gun-shy right now on this elimination game, like you said. It's very scary, but they're playing loose. They're playing free. I hear them yelling on stage. They're looking for every opportunity they can find. They see PoE. Yeah, I'll take that kill. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right out of vision, walks around the corner, satchel charge into the knockup there. He knows it was a good play. Center of the ulti. And Ziggs is becoming a huge threat.
Yeah, he is.
He's just dead.
He is unstoppable. Raze, he jukes the skill shots. He lands his own.
They're going to go to Baron.
Oh, yeah.
They can do this so quickly. Zid is so strong at this point. A lot of damage going to be added in here by Ziggs. With Spica down, I mean, maybe TSM just try to flip it anyway. You don't have your jungler, but this game is getting so bad already.
Ulti in. Goodbye to loss. I don't know how you survived this one. Yeah, sorry, you're in the ultimatum. Revenge gets the kill credit as TF comes across as well. Yeah, your counterplay was don't walk that way. They found you.
Yeah, lost his flash in that top dive that we were talking about, so they're easy pickings for Immortals, and now they can refocus onto the Baron. We'll see if they keep looking for turns, if they actually want to finish this one off.
I mean, I don't blame TSM showing up. You're down 9K. You've got to make some sort of a miracle happen, and maybe this is their shot.
Shockwave versus Smite. Shockwave versus Smite. Nice play. Get it to 1,200. Look for the thing. Okay, he burned it. Wait. And Smite at the end. Very, very nicely done. Immortals claim the Baron. Immortals are up 10,000 gold.
I love the decision there to finish the Baron as well. Spica had respawn and was on his way. If you look for a kill, you're going to risk getting the Smite fight coming into that play. So you just focus down the Baron, and they're able to get out cleanly. And like you said, waited out the Shockwave as well.
Yeah, playing it really, really well. And it's always so disheartening when you have a play like that, and then you see the enemy team come out of base with all these new items. GA completed, Zhonya's completed, Redemption completed. Revenge hasn't been back to base yet. Yeah, he already had the death cap.
Okay.
So it's one of those situations where it's so tough, and now Huni, you're dead, no flash.
Yeah, D-Gun listens to the cast. I've been calling those numbers out as well. Huni is going to stay alive thanks to lost its arrow. Next Dragon comes up in 25 seconds, and I got to say, ulti haste is going to feel real good in some Immortals lineup. I love getting a ton of Ziggs ults out.
Absolutely, and it makes it so difficult to actually play in the side lane against Revenge. The additional move speed there, chasing you down in that side lane is always difficult. TSM trying to do cross-map trades, but I mean, Ziggs like 3 shots your tower this late in the game. It is really brutal to actually hold your base against a Ziggs who's this far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, one Q there, you see drops Huni to about 1/3 or 2/3 HP. It is very tough to hold on.
Passive auto satchel, this is just dead.
Yep, if someone wants to take the turret aggro, they can, but they've got to respect Shockwave. Like, Raze can't walk up to auto, but the cannon mini's still going to get it lower. Needs a couple more turret shots, and then it will be satchelable. Damage comes across, damage comes in, and this turret is just going to drop. Ulti to zone him out. I think they're ending the siege soon, because that's an important cooldown if they're going to keep fighting.
They're posturing to try to push forward, but no, they are going to pull it back. I mean, may as well just grab the dragon here, spend all your gold. They have got to have a ton in their pockets right now.
They send back the Camille. Teleport is available. 12,000 gold available. 13,000 on the Ziggs. Turns out the win condition was in the bot lane all along. Though obviously well done by Xerxes to set so much of it up. And the two of them are going to combine to knock this one down. He's like, you know what, actually? I'm going to save the smite. You have it. I don't care. Go get level 16. Dragon does have a lot of local XP, by the way. It's something around 300. That's like about as much as a full minion wave. And so, okay, let's let Raze get close to level 16.
Now all they need to do with this reset, join up with this top wave. You already have the bottom two inhibitors destroyed. You have Baron buff for another 30 seconds. Might not get it into the turret in time, but there's no objectives left on the map. And with the Ziggs, you have huge siege potential. I expect maybe they start splitting someone down to one of the super creep waves as well to help escort those in.
I mean, TSM's only shot. You have to look for a hard engage here. We'll see if Sword Art can find some sort of a wraparound, but they're trying to clear out the vision. I mean, if you can find some sort of engage, you go for it, but Immortals are ready.
Knock back onto Sword Art, takes the front line. He's going to still drop. Zonius buys a second. Ulti's going to land, and yep, that is Ashe dead, and maybe Orianna next. Revenge wants in. He's tanky for now. They're going to do okay with this one. 1 for nothing. The flash follows. Not going to be enough. Power of Evil stays alive, so 4v3 on the map as the entire bot lane of TSM is down. Super is going to flood into the base now as well, and they should be able to siege. Shockwave only catches the support. He is tanky enough, and they're going to find themselves some turret damage. That's that level. That is gone. That is a knock-up in for Xerxes, finding yet another kill as Orianna has dropped off the map. They're going to get the knockups. They're going to get the kills maybe, but Huni has the oranges. He is K for now, but they're going to knock down that next turret still now in the 4 versus 2. Trundle should be dying. Spica will get gleaming quilled in the back of the head, and Immortals, true to their name, will not die. They take game 3.
I'm so happy to see them fight back in this series. Game 1, TSM stomp. Game 2, pretty close. Game 3, Immortals stomping TSM here, showing some signs of life. And what a game from Xerxes. This guy absolutely went off. He had like 7 or 8 kills by 10 minutes, running over this game, absolutely dominant.
Hitting double digits in the kill column, very impressive game. And Immortals are a streaky team. They have been hot and cold on and off throughout the split. Talk about momentum this series. They got to feel pretty good. And you heard people talking about in their scrims, they're a really good early game team. They can run you over. And I mean, we saw it here this game and a little bit even in game 2. And, you know, TSM will have side selection, but they really got to find a way to stabilize.
Absolutely. I mean, just like, the change in atmosphere, you know, for a team from the previous games to this one, Immortals were having fun, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're joking around on stage. You have got to be feeling so much better after that game. And it's going to be interesting to see, you know, which side TSM does choose. Do they want to go, you know, red side, blue side? Do they want to mix anything up? Because that game looked really, really good for Immortals.
Yeah, I'm curious which way it goes. Does Immortals get better and better over the series, or does TSM find what to fix and shut them down? We're going to find out pretty shortly in Game 4. Now, the road to the championship is indeed paved with one win at a time. And as we go, we're going to see if Kobe and co can snag one last win in this sneak peek of tomorrow's final episode of Masterminds. Check it out.
Welcome back. Hey, Jat is back joining us on Masterminds here, my friend. I hope you guys feel good about Juggernauts.
I'm feeling kind of young today, actually. I don't know why.
Long timer here, baby.
Yeah.
Our challenge for today is going to be using Urgot as an AD carry. And now, I actually went back to research this because I had a little inkling in my mind. If we go all the way back to 2013, I casted a game with Freak where Doublelift was playing Urgot AD carry as the old Urgot with the position reverser ultimate, and they built this team around having Tarek so that they could swap the Urgot in, and then Urgot would be invulnerable, and they'd have a big team fight off of that.
But you can't do it anymore.
So it has worked in the past in a different iteration of Urgot.
With a different champion. Yeah. So what's your pitch on how this one works?
There's no pitch.
You got no pitch?
It's a challenge, Jack. It's not a pitch. It's a challenge.
Hey, man, let me ask you a question, man. See if you know what's up. Big this. music with no illusions, producing the blueprints. Clueless, automator, defy the laws of nature. Electronic monolith, throw a gem upon a disc. The futuristic looping with a quickness. Hyper-producing hydrogen fusion liquids. Keep your distance. Who's that the mastermind? Who's that the mastermind?
It's never been easier to stay in touch, so we never miss the chance to show how much we care. And thanks to all of you who used your MasterCard to order online or tap in store at restaurants and grocery stores, MasterCard is donating $5 million to Stand Up to Cancer. Together is how we help start something priceless.
Welcome back to the LCS, where Immortals breathe new life into this best of 5 by taking down TSM in game number 3. And if I say so myself, I feel a little more alive after that one, where it feels like this is the Immortals that we wanted to see challenge TSM. And they set themselves up in the best possible way with the tools that we know that they use well.
Right. I mean, not only is that the Immortals we want to see, it's a better version of the Immortals. Like game 2, they were just, all right, they weren't destroying, but it was a pretty lit game, right? Well. Going back and forth.
Yeah.
They're playing really well above and beyond what I had expected. Game 3, before it happened, I said, if they're going to win, all 5 players need to play better. And I'm watching this early game. They have hands, guys. Their mechanics are clean. Their dodging skill shots are outplaying TSM everywhere.
And that was a big part of it. I think Game 1 was really poor for Immortals, and TSM got to play to their comfort zone and kind of smashed them. Game 2, a lot of that game came down to hands. right? They had winnable positions. It was a very close game. And as they mentioned, this game completely one-sided is the way it ended up. But it's because there were so many small skirmishes and like fight after fight after fight, Immortals was just coming out on top.
Well, and Bjergsen echoed that sentiment in his sideline interview there, saying that he's giving most of his credit of the 2 wins to his players just outplaying in different moments on the Rift. But Emily, returning real quickly to this draft point, the Ziggs finally makes its way back onto the stage for IMT.
And this kind of asks the question of why it wasn't picked first rotation sooner, because we talked about how it was a ban 4 or 5 in the first game and then made it through entirely. And then when they're on blue side, they just, straight up pick it. And this was such a powerful pick for them. You can tell, even when they didn't necessarily execute everything as well as they could have, they know how to play around the Ziggs. They know that they want to rotate him wherever there's a turret on the map, essentially, to take it down. I thought they did a really good job building off of making some of these skirmishes more one-sided by rotating the rest of their team around, specifically Xerxes was everywhere. And then that allowed Ziggs to be unlocked later on, so then he could just go through this kind of raising down all of the turrets.
Right, so Freak called me out saying that bot laners can play mages better than mid laners. First off, a lot of mid laners play Lucian, Tristana, Assassins, backline mages, so we're more versatile when you only play one. Also, his Ziggs was great after he got the game given to him on a silver platter by Xerxes. So like, yes, his Ziggs mid-game, late game was great. His lane phase was okay, which is fine. They 2v1 Ashe, that's not that hard. But, I'm just tossing it out there, Freak. Yeah, I'm down to 1v1 Freak.
Wow.
Lucian versus Lucian, the Ziggs versus Ziggs.
All right, man.
I'm here, Freak.
Best.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
Wow.
No, but I do think that calling out Xerxes and the setup for the Ziggs, while the Ziggs was used intelligently by the team as a whole to drive the victory home, a lot of it was done by Xerxes in the early game.
Yeah, I contend as well that he is probably their best player. When they're at their best, they're playing through him, right? So even though he is able to go top to get these ganks set up, like everything is on his timers when they're playing well. And also another thing we pointed out early in the series about Huni actually being kind of the main carry of TSM, and when he can control side lanes, the game is very smooth. They completely stopped that from being a possibility with all of these early skirmishes that went to Immortals' side.
I mean, Huni throughout his entire career has been a fairly volatile player, right? Very capable of single-handedly winning a game, but also losing a game, and so no surprise that if you find the right way to focus him, you can find a lot of advantages in that lane.
And just in that play, you can see how good TSM's composition is at punishing overextensions, right? So it makes sense as to why they would lock in this composition. Not only are they comfortable with it, but also they can punish a lot of the more hyphy plays that cost IMT the game before. However, then it comes back to Xerxes and where he is and how much pressure he's applying. And it's a credit to him that he was able to recognize, even in that topside play, for example, they lose out there. He's able to go elsewhere on the map and make a play and keep the tempo going so TSM cannot regroup.
Something I want to bring up is the Samsung SSD Fast 5, actually, because this game was a very fast-paced game. The same thing was in game 2. I think it'd be something that would be cool. Actually, probably not cool, but if they had the opportunity to pause games, I think that'd be a really good way to reset the mental. The pace of that game was way faster than TSM had wanted. Xerxes was literally 7 kills in 15 minutes into the game. You see here that he's leading the board of the junglist fastest level 6, and he really demonstrated that this game. And it'd be cool to have a pause function in game outside of bugs and stuff like that. Whether that's good for the game, I don't know. But TSM definitely needed to stop that pacing of the game. Yeah. But they fell into it and they got destroyed because of that.
But to your point, and the reason why I love that you called this up is because while yes, the entirety of Immortals did have a gold lead because of how dominant it was, the 3 players who topped their individual lists in terms of a comparison to TSM were largely the members responsible for that. Xerxes, of course, but also the bot lane getting things done and putting pressure on those turrets early with Ziggs. The Ziggs then became an absolute monster in the team fighting portions of the series. But this is where we look at what just popped up onto our screens and I go, how does Immortals do it again? Because given the fact that TSM has side select and they choose to go to blue, can they find the Ziggs again? Does the Ziggs just go away in bands 1, 2, 3 now? What happens to Xerxes' agency in the early game when maybe TSM can threaten, hey, we'll take that Zinz out early and remove a power pick from the jungle?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to skip back to game 2 draft, which is the last time that they adjusted like this. And I thought Immortals had a pretty, thematically sound team composition, right? Where they had Xin, TF, Jace as their 1, 2, 3. And in that game, actually, they had the opportunity to pick Ziggs on the 4-5. So something similar to that. I want to go back to like core things to defeat TSM that I think Immortals has to do, right? They need to win top lane. And that doesn't need to start from top lane. That can start through mid. So I think it's very important that they don't try and go for outscaling. Draft is super complicated, so like depending on what 6 bans come in, it could be completely different. But they really need to make sure they can use a TF, a Ryze, a Lucian, anything to move it top and stop Huni from being able to be first to fights.
Well, I got good news for you. It's going to be us who get to cover Champion Select for game
Let's
number 4,
go.
so I don't want to do too much of that discussion here. Immortals, they stay alive and take game 3 in this series. Now they fight for the chance to tie it up in game number 4. We'll see you right back here in just a bit.
Decorative towel.
There was a mess. I wiped up a mess.
Yeah, you.
Where is the box? Never mind, I found it.
When game day is a go, there's a Bud Light there.